Thank you all for joining us on this beautiful day for the announcement of the University Transportation Center named National Center for Infrastructure Transformation, a historic moment for Prairie View A&M University's research and innovation. I'm Magesh Rajan, Vice President for Research and Innovation at Prairie View A&M University, and I will be the MC for today's occasion. On behalf of Prairie View A&M University research community of faculty, staff, and students, it is my sincere pleasure to welcome our chief guest, our very own Texas A&M University System Chancellor Sharp, with a warm round of applause to the Hill. Please join me with a round of applause. We are also very pleased to welcome our special guests, Dr. Joe Elab, Vice Chancellor for Research from the Texas A&M System. Dr. Elab. And several leaders and representatives from our member institutions and agencies within the Texas A&M University System, TEAS, TTI, and several other agencies. We're also very pleased to welcome our partnering universities and our government relations team, Congressman McCall and his staff, industry and corporate partners and community partners to PVAMU, and joining the PV leadership team, faculty, staff, and student researchers on this occasion. We will begin the actual program at 1:30 following the lunch. So thank you and enjoy your lunch until then. Thank you. All right. Well, well, I hope you're all enjoying your lunch, and we can get the program started. And at this point, it is my pleasure to welcome our Chancellor, Texas A&M University System, John Sharp, to share his opening remarks about the new center. Chancellor Sharp.
Good morning, good afternoon. How are y'all? It's good to be here with you for this unbelievable announcement. This is a game changer, not just for Prairie View, but for the state of Texas. This is a $20 million grant. The Texas A&M system puts in $2.5 million to jumpstart the Prairie View A&M University's National Center for Infrastructure Transformation. This is the first time in the history of the United States that a competitively bid transportation institute like this has gone to any HBCU in the United States of America. This is amazing. And President McFrazier, I remember when Greg Winfrey came into my office with this idea. And so Greg Winfrey, the TTI director, and Melissa Tooley came up with the idea, but the person that made it work was this lady right here. And so Judy Perkins, who is you know, not only the National Center Infrastructure Transformation person, but she's been a Texas A&M System Regents professor since 2009, and she's the one that makes it work. What I think is so cool about this is that this consortium that we're going to have not only has Texas A&M Transportation Institute and TEAS and those folks, but in it is also Rutgers University, Michigan State University, Arizona State University, and then Blinn College is also in there as well. And I understand we have some folks here from Arizona State University. And so what everybody needs to understand is they're all in it, but Perkins is the boss. And so everything flows through Prairie View A&M University, which is historic. As Joe Biden used to say, it's a big deal, right? 12 years ago, I want to talk, it's amazing what this kind of collaboration can do. And this is just the beginning. Here, Prairie View just became an R2 university. The goal of this process is for Prairie View to be the first R1 university of all HBCUs in the United States of America. At the end of this process one of these days is for Prairie View A&M University to be the best HBCU that exists in the United States of America. And things like this, Judy, with what you're working on, are the kinds of things that'll jumpstart that. Now, if you'd excuse me, I want to talk a little bit about my relationship to Prairie View. When I was a student body president, and I was just telling Michael about this, when I was student body president at A&M, we were invited by the student body president of Prairie View. This was in 1972, before most people in this room were born. We were invited to come over here and look at the campus of Prairie View. And frankly, we were appalled at what we saw. I remember distinctly armadillos living in a dormitory. That's what I took away from that deal. And so the Student Senate of Texas A&M and Prairie View issued these proclamations and lists of demands to the Board of Regents, which they promptly ignored, that something ought to happen. I say that because when I was offered this job as chancellor, they made me do an interview. Well, hell, I couldn't even spell chancellor, so I didn't know what I was talking about. But they said, what do you want to do? What's your goals? And I said, I want to get a law school for Texas A&M, which we got, and I want to quit treating Prairie View like it's some stepchild. And that was all I said in that interview. The interview lasted about 5 minutes or something like that. I think they were going to pick me anyway. And so I got the job. And so that was the goals. And I want to tell you today some of the progress with regard to that, if you'll indulge me. So one of the things that happened is that the Board of Regents back at that time were shortchanging Prairie View, even though we passed, when I was a member of the legislature, admission of the AUF money, Permanent University Fund earnings, into Prairie View. The system was not giving them the amount of money that they had. And I'm happy to tell you that that was $12.1 million in 2011 when we got here. It's $30 million a year this year from that, 150% increase. We now spend more per student at Prairie View A&M out of that fund than we do per student at Texas A&M University and College Station. $3,300 per student at Prairie View, $2,300 at Texas A&M. We have invested in these 11 years $347 million in construction projects at Prairie View over the last 11 years, and I have to tell you, that's what I'm most proud of. I mean, I know your grass turns purple in the spring, and that's fine, but this stadium, the ag building, this building, the rec center, this engineering building is going to be unbelievable before it's over with. This engineering building will be on a par very close to the engineering building at Texas A&M University. There's not another engineering building in this state that's going to have as good a labs as what's going to happen in this particular building. I can't wait till that opens here pretty soon. So we spent $340 million in 11 years. The previous 11 years was way shy of $200 million. It was like I forget what it is, 130, 140 million in the previous 11 years, so almost double that amount. And then we allocated another 36 million using Joe out of the Chancellor's Research Initiative for research projects. In case you don't know, you have some of your equipment sitting on Mars right now because of some of the folks that were recruited for that. And people just don't, everybody needs to know just what kind of brilliant minds exist here in Prairie View that do some of this kind of research. And funding for student on top of that doubled to $3,306 per student, up from $1,384 per student. And before this is over with, this is going to be an R1 university. It is going to be the first HBCU in the United States of America that has an R1 university. It is already the most beautiful campus in the state of Texas, period. If you don't believe that, go take a look. Now, granted, you got better grass or something and trees than everybody else, but I'm talking about the stadium. I'm talking about all of the assets for these young minds that are coming here. And so, but this is the beginning of what we want to do. We want to make this the #1 HBCU, and this stuff right here is a game changer. I mean, folks don't, you know, I looked at this title and tried to explain it to my kids, and my kids' eyes glassed over. Infrastructure, what the hell are you talking about? But this is the introduction to some serious money in Washington, D.C. when you're talking about transportation. And if we can do it with regards to this kind of collaboration that exists, and I know that your student leaders and other folks are already talking over the last month or so to Texas A&M student leaders about engineering, about them coming here for criminal justice courses and things like that. And we can do some amazing things. But this, Judy Perkins, is a mind-blowing deal. I guarantee you, you just got the attention of every, not just HBCU, but every university in the country. And I know that Regents Professor Judy Perkins is going to make this out of the park home run. Thank you for what you did in putting this together. God bless you. God bless Prairie View A&M.
Thank you, Chancellor Sharp. At this time, we will welcome our Vice Chancellor for Research, Dr. George.
Hello. I'm trying to figure out if Prairie View likes me or not because they have me following Chancellor John Sharp on an agenda here. So, but I can say a couple things. You know, when I took this job a couple years ago, you know, I'm somebody who loves research so much. You have no idea. I've really dedicated my whole life to that. And I just didn't know what I was getting into. And I found out that the person I work for has been the biggest champion for research that I've ever worked for. So I think days like this are really fun. And I think too, so I'd really like to thank him. He's super supportive and really invests time, energy, ideas, and money behind research for the entire system. So that makes my job probably the best job you could have. I'd also like to thank Dr. Mukesh Rajan. He's been a great team member, great friend to work with since I've had this job, and he really has a passion and energy for research for this university, and I've watched it really grow under his leadership. So thank you. And also thank Dr. Judy Perkins for her leadership in this effort. I understand how difficult it is to even write a center proposal, let alone compete and get it funded. And this is really amazing. So, it was announced just back in May of last year, less than a year ago, President Biden announced a new round of funding for $450 million for over 35 of these transportation centers to be administered through the Department of Transportation. Only 5 of those are ones at a national level. Those are the most competitive. This is one of the 5. Not only is it being led by Prairie View, but it is one of the 5. It is extremely competitive. I understand how hard that is, Dr. Perkins, how hard it is to get these, and I also know how hard it is to run these. So I know you'll find that out, but I know you have a great team, and I do think that our system has really the best transportation researchers in the country, and so I'm really pleased to see the team that you've put together. It is really tremendous, and I know this will make a huge impact. I could read a lot of things about the University Transportation Center, but I'll just leave you with, every time I teach a class, I usually give an exercise to the students, and it's something like, I talk about the book 1984 and how revolutionary that was and the ideas that came out of that years before they actually came to fruition. So I asked them, if you were to write a book called 2084, what are things that would happen in 2084 that are different now? What are some things that may not even be legal that are legal now? And every class I've taught, everyone says, manual driving will not be legal in 2084. Everyone says that. I mean, really, this center has a chance to transformationally change how we think about transportation, how it impacts our everyday lives, because it really does. All of us, I got here by driving a vehicle. We all did. It really has a huge effect on how we move every day to meet our friends and family, and the research that we do. So I can't thank Prairie View enough for its leadership. Dr. Perkins, congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Elad. And at this time, we will invite our Dean of the College of Engineering, Dr. Pamela Viamont, to give some remarks.
Good afternoon. 20 years ago, I joined Prairie View A&M University. The College of Engineering was mostly a teaching college. We had 1 or 2 research centers in a 3-building complex. Our commitment to make the world a better place and to prepare the next generation of engineers and scientists has made the college a very different place today. With the support of the Chancellor Research Initiatives and our investments in research, the College of Engineering was able to attract top faculty and students and continue to develop more advanced technologies. We have been able to do great works in artificial intelligence and big data research in our center. We've been able to impact the national security, health care, criminal justice, transportation, smart cities, and we've been able to even address issues in algorithmic biasing. In our Smart Grid Research Center, we've been able to address our aging infrastructure. In our outstanding Cybersecurity Center, we've been able to develop a diverse workforce and a generation of future leaders in cybersecurity. In our Computational Biology Center, we've been able to develop prescriptive medicine for cancer treatment. We now have 12 outstanding research centers housed in a 6-building complex. We're in the process of completing the construction of our new 100,000 square foot engineering classroom and research building. And now we've received this transportation center, which will be housed in the College of Engineering. I am excited as an alumni and to be serving as the dean of the college during this time of technological progress. We're excited about the expertise this consortium will bring to campus. It will connect our students and faculty to some of the world's most widely regarded transportation researchers in the field. This transportation center is about much more than research. This center will help us get closer to two goals. One, the goal of the United States, which is to grow and diversify the pool of engineers and scientists and prepare the next generation of transportation leaders. And secondly, the center will bring funding and recognition to help us move one step closer to reaching a R1 classification. With that being said, congratulations, Judy, Greg, Melissa, and all of those who played a role in developing this proposal and making this day possible. Thank you and best wishes.
Thank you, Dean Obiamon. And at this point, we're all waiting for the NCIT Director, Professor, and Texas A&M Regents Professor, and Professor of Prairie View A&M, and the Director for this center, Dr. Judy Perkins, to share her remarks for the center. Please give a round of applause.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. Thank you all for coming to share the celebrating of this announcement of the National Center for Infrastructure Transformation, a 5-year, $40 million national tier university transportation center. I know the Chancellor mentioned $20 million, so let me tell you where the $40 million comes into play. It's $20 million of federal funding and $20 million of matching funds, making this a total project of $40 million. To all the individuals that had a hand in any form in planning this event, on behalf of the National Center for Infrastructure Transformation, thank you very much for a job well done. And to all the individuals listed on the program to share remarks today, on behalf of the National Center for Infrastructure Transformation, we deeply thank you. Today I stand before you as one of 5 center directors responsible for leading a national university transportation center for the next 5 years. The newly awarded National Transportation Center to Prairie View A&M University is unequivocally an historic achievement. Per my discussion with the Office of Sponsor Program, this is the largest competitive award that Prairie View has received. Give yourself a round of applause. So how did this occur? It was through the invisible but divine hands that brought all the right people together to develop a proposal document built on 3 key elements, and they were innovation, intentional, and unique. Innovation. Given the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act's historic investment in American infrastructure, we would have to be about the business of describing how we would change and lead change regarding the statutory research priority to improve the durability and extending the life of the transportation infrastructure. Intentional. The message had to be clear to anyone reading the document that our commitment to leading change was deliberate regarding the projects and programs listed under the categories of research, education and workforce development, and technology transfer and collaboration. Unique in the sense that a historically black college and university will be the leader of a powerful consortium consisting of Arizona State University. Will Claudia Zapata please stand and remain standing? Carla Flanagan and Jay Anderson from Blinn College District, please stand and remain standing. Borasita from Michigan State University. Please stand. Ali Marr, who is representing Patrick Zeri from Rutgers University. Anand Upala, representing Texas A&M University and Texas A&M Engineering Experiment Station. And none other than Melissa Tooley, who's representing Texas A&M Transportation Institute. Please give them a round of applause. This is the dream team that will take the lead in making change when it comes to infrastructure transformation. You may be seated. Shortly after proposal submission, support letters regarding our initiative went to the Honorable Pete Buttigieg, the Secretary of the U.S. Department of Transportation, to consider peer review lead this consortium for the historic investment. These support letters were coming from some of our advisory board members, as well as constituents and stakeholders representing our consortium partners. In addition, there was assistance from the A&M System Office of Federal Relations, specifically Valerie Offit, Carrie Kenoras, I may have pronounced that incorrectly, and Michael Gibson, who led the groundwork to meeting with several congressional members to seek support of our proposal. Thank you, Senator John Cornyn. Thank you, Representative Michael McCall, Pete Session, Elisa Slotkin, Randy Weber, Eddie Bernice Johnson, Beth Van Dyne, Brian Babin, Colin Allred, and Lizzie Fletcher. To seal everything, I must acknowledge the contribution of the many faculty and staff personnel across the consortium who worked tirelessly on this endeavor. Whether the contribution was in the area of administration, budget development, editing, graphic designing, agreeing to serve on the advisory council, or proposal development, thank you for all your hard work. As you can see, it took a village to get this done. From these combined efforts, we are able to gather here today. Just what is this National Center for Infrastructure Transformation about, the impact it will make, and the benefits it will provide? On page 3 of your program, you'll see our mission and vision. Also listed on page 6 in the program booklet are the members of the Center's Advisory Board. And let me pause here a second. If there are members of the advisory board in the room, please stand so you can be recognized at this time. Thank you. You may be seated. Adding to the vision and mission, the center is diverse in terms of expertise, geographic location, that means Arizona, Michigan, New Jersey, and Texas, culture, and institution size. The infrastructure expertise, history of successful research, implementation, and productive existing relationships equips it with strong capabilities to address the infrastructure issues of both urban and rural areas across all transportation modes. Without question, the center's expertise is both broad and deep. The first goal of the center is to have faculty and students across the consortium conduct cutting-edge research that aligns with the goals found in the U.S. Department of Transportation Strategic Plan and its research development technology, the needs of our stakeholders, and once again, the statutory research priority to improve the durability and extending the life of the transportation infrastructure. The research will cover several areas and will evolve over the life of the center. The 3 core research topical pillars will manifest to reality, those being infrastructure durability and resilience, technology, and policy. Just a little bit about Pillar 1. We aim to transform the American infrastructure as well as increase the lifespan and resiliency of transportation by uncovering better ways to design, build, and maintain all modes of the transportation infrastructure. Technology. Our consortium partners will look to address the impacts and potential benefits of technological innovation, including connected and automated vehicles, the electrification of vehicles on transportation infrastructure, and the enhancement of proactive infrastructure management. Good policy that enables fully informed decision is critical. We will investigate policy pertaining to enhanced project delivery methods, improvements to resource allocation, and appropriate ways to include equity and social justice considerations into the overall transportation decision-making process. Supporting these pillars is going to be a robust approach to nurturing and developing a community of diverse transportation professionals, that being our second goal. Throughout the center, all of the consortium partners would engage the K through 12 communities, students consisting of undergraduate and graduate and working professionals. Within our education and workforce development portfolio, students can participate in research, receive scholarships, internships, as well as certificates relating to specialized infrastructure-related areas, and participate in a host of innovative non-degree education and training initiatives. With equity being a guiding principle to the center, the full cycle of addressing underrepresented and underserved populations will occur through all our initiatives. Faculty and staff across the consortium can seamlessly leverage one another's resources, thus creating strength in project scope and in number. Faculty will be equipped to pursue opportunities, internal and external, to the center. In addition, the professional training programs made available to the faculty will enhance their technical and academic capabilities and provide them with a sustainable competitive edge. The center's third goal is the commercialization of our project program results. Our stakeholders from private industry and the public sector will participate in some of our research projects. The expectation is that we will transition our knowledge into practical applications so they can be readily used. Doing so will help move the needle on industry's business practices, as well as build their capabilities per the center's 3 topical research pillars. Now, as a final goal for the center, we will work collectively to establish a legacy. Doing so, from my perspective, will put us on the path to experience another victory 5 years hence. America Infrastructure Community will firsthand see that the partners from Arizona, Michigan, New Jersey, and Texas are not just here for one-time visit. Rather, we are here to provide the generation to follow with an innovative, intentional, and unique university partnership that bring to practice breakthrough discoveries and new knowledge about improving the durability and extending the life of our transportation infrastructure. In closing, I want to leave with you one final message regarding what truly landed the National Center for Infrastructure Transportation to this, what landed the National Center for Infrastructure Transformation to this historic point at Prairie View. Whether we realize it or not, the consortium partners were in harmony with the words of Wayne Dyer. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. By holding fast to Wayne Dyer's words, achieving another victory will be inevitable for us in the next competition. Thanks for your attendance, and Godspeed to all of you.
That was a phenomenal journey of dedicated, committed, a perseverance, pinnacle of perseverance among the research community that it takes. It takes a village to come together to accomplish such major accomplishments such as this. The multiple member institutions and agencies within the A&M system worked tirelessly together among other members of this consortium who have traveled long distance for this event. And all of us coming together to apply for this federal program. And this achievement perfectly aligns with Chancellor Sharp's vision for an extended partnership between PVAMU and member institutions and agencies within the system. So we are very proud that we can make such significant investment toward cutting-edge research. So in that regard of coming together and working together and achieving major accomplishments, I would like to welcome our system partnering member Texas Transportation Institute, Representative Melissa Tooley, who is also the Deputy Director for this NCIT Center, and she is the Assistant Agency Director at TTI. Melissa Tooley.
Good afternoon, and thank you. I've been a part of the U.S. DOT University Transportation Centers program, or the UTC, since 1991. This program changes lives. As a graduate student, it supported my research and provided fellowship funds. As a faculty member, the UTC program supported my research, supported my students, and eventually, I ultimately became a UTC director and now serve as the coordinator of TTI's UTC activities. My entire academic career has been influenced and shaped by the UTC program. But my experience is by no means unique. Since the program was founded in 1989, thousands of students have benefited from and been financially supported by the program. Faculty have built tenure credentials. Transportation research programs have been supported and enhanced at universities across the country. Transportation planning, procedures, and policies, and design, construction, and maintenance methods have been transformed as a result of UTC research. The program has sparked creative approaches to transportation challenges, bringing planners, social scientists, economists, and others together to participate alongside engineers in the transportation profession. But perhaps most importantly, the UTC program is notable for its impact on the transportation workforce. Through the UTCs, the transportation industry has been able to tap into rich pools of talent to the benefit of the traveling public and to society as a whole. TTI has been significantly involved in the UTC program and its nationwide community for almost 35 years. Under the leadership of Agency Director Greg Winfrey, TTI is enthusiastic about supporting our colleagues at Prairie View A&M, as well as at our other consortium partners, to bring the UTC program to a brand new group of students and faculty through the National Center for Infrastructure Transformation, or INSIGHT, as we like to call it. In closing, I personally cannot wait to work with INSIGHT Director Dr. Judy Perkins to introduce the students at Prairie View to the multitude of fascinating career opportunities available in transportation. The UTC program indeed changes lives. I'm living proof of that. Thank you.
Thank you, Melissa. At this stage, we would like to welcome our closing remarks, our acting president, Dr. Michael McFraser.
Well, good afternoon. I am Michael McFraser, and certainly I'm delighted to bring closing remarks on this momentous day. I'm honored to be a part of this notable event, as it will forever be a highlight of my time as acting president. For 147 years, Prairie View A&M University has, as a part of its mission, been dedicated to achieving excellence and relevance in teaching, research, and service. Today's announcement that Prairie View A&M University, the first HBCU in the nation, will lead one of 5 national University Transportation Centers of Infrastructure Transformation, INSIGHT, that's a great acronym, demonstrates that Prairie View is an institution of the first class and is committed to realizing its historic mission. This National Transportation Center will display to the world Prairie View A&M University's long-held transportation research expertise and the combined research capacity and capability of the Texas A&M University system. Indeed, this is an extraordinary day on the Hill, the Gulf Coast region, the state, and the nation. Now, I know you understand that we arrive at this day because of the dedicated work and the unwavering support of others. Allow me to thank Dr. Judy Perkins, the key individuals from the Roy G. Perry College of Engineering, the Texas A&M Transportation Institute, TTI, Texas A&M Engineering Experiment Station, TEAS, Texas A&M University System, as well as our consortium members mentioned earlier, Rutgers University, Michigan State University, Arizona State University, and Blinn College for their work to develop and submit the proposal. They deserve a round of applause. We also thank all who worked tirelessly on the Hill. Congressman McCall, I mentioned his name for his advocacy and making this $40 million Department of Transportation award possible. We wholeheartedly thank and appreciate Chancellor Sharp. Chancellor, this collaboration is as a result of your vision and your leadership, and it will no doubt be successful because of your steadfast support. You have demonstrated that by the announcement today, and many of you may not have heard, but the system has given an additional $2.5 million earmarked for the center. These funds will help with the cost share match, and we will work tirelessly to ensure that the additional funds needed will be made available. Thank you, Chancellor Sharp. And on a personal note, I'd like to thank you publicly for this opportunity to serve this great institution for this period of time. From the moment I was named acting president, your in-person, your phone calls, as well as your text conversations with me have been about ways to support, highlight, and advance the great work and the importance of Prairie View A&M University. Thank you for your unwavering support. This grant requires major commitments in terms of time, effort, and financial resources from Prairie View A&M University. I want to thank Dr. Rajan, Vice President of Research and Innovation, our Senior Vice President for Business Affairs, Dr. Cynthia Carter-Horn, our Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs, James Palmer, Andrea Sankey, the Executive Director of Development, for the work that you have done and the work that you will do to ensure the center is integrated into the administrative and academic structure of the university. You will work to ensure that the center remains viable and sustainable to help enhance the durability and extend the life of our nation's transportation system. As I close, I want to say a special thank you to Carol Campbell, John Briscoe, and the Office of Special Events, certainly Dr. Rajan and the staff in Research and Innovation for preparing and executing this wonderful event. Dr. Perkins, I say to you in closing that the work that you and the faculty and the students of the Roy G. Perry College of Engineering will do will certainly display to the world the brilliance, the innovation, and the level of excellence that has and continues to live here at Prairie View A&M University. Thank you all for being here today, and thank you for your support of Prairie View A&M University, the Hill, as it's so affectionately called. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. McFraser, for the closing remarks. Just a quick note before we disperse, I request the speakers as well as the consortium members who are part of the center, please work with our marketing and communications group for team pictures. So with that note, enjoy and thank you for joining. The program is closed. Thank you.